Benjamin Netanyahu ordered the military to immediately carry out forceful strikes in the Gaza Strip after Israeli troops were hit by gunfire. Netanyahu orders fresh strikes on Gaza Strip after IDF soldier shot Hamas, which denies involvement in the shooting, says it will postpone release of further hostages following latest attacks by Israel. Follow this channel Channel TV for more updates on international news. Benjamin Netanyahu ordered the military to immediately carry out forceful strikes in the Gaza Strip after Israeli troops were hit by gunfire. At least 3 airstrikes, including one near Gaza's largest hospital, Shifa, were reported by the enclave's civil defense agency after the Israeli Prime Minister's order was issued. At least 26 people were killed in the strikes, including 5 in a house in the Bureij refugee camp in the central Gaza Strip, and 5 in a car in Khan Younis, according to Hamas-run authorities. Local health authorities said the strikes killed at least 26 people. The attacks by Israeli planes continued into early Wednesday across the Gaza Strip, according to witnesses. Donald Trump defended the Israeli strike on Hamas on Wednesday. "They killed an Israeli soldier," he told reporters traveling with him aboard Air Force One from Japan to South Korea. "So the Israelis hit back, and they should hit back." He added that the strikes did not jeopardize the ceasefire, but sent a warning to Hamas, which he called a very small part of peace in the Middle East, to stick to the terms of the deal. Israel's attack was sparked by gunfire targeting an IDF unit in the southern Gazan city of Rafah earlier on Tuesday. Leaving one soldier in critical condition, Hamas violated the ceasefire once again, carrying out an attack against IDF forces east to the Yellow Line, an area under Israeli control, a military official said. At the end of the security consultations, Prime Minister Netanyahu instructed the military echelon to immediately carry out powerful attacks on the Gaza Strip, his office said. But Hamas has denied any involvement in the shooting, saying in response, Hamas affirms that it has no connection to the shooting incident in Rafah and affirms its commitment to the ceasefire agreement. The terror group said it would postpone the release of further hostages following the latest airstrikes. It is understood that Israel will review the situation after the strikes on Tuesday. U.S. insists ceasefire holding J.D. Vance, the U.S. Vice President, insisted the ceasefire was still holding strong despite both sides accusing the other of violations. He said, "The ceasefire is holding. That doesn't mean that there aren't going to be little skirmishes here and there. We know that Hamas or somebody else within Gaza attacked a soldier. We expect the Israelis are going to respond, but I think the president's peace is going to hold despite that." Israel will also seek to take further control of Gaza beyond the Yellow Line, according to a source familiar with the matter. The Yellow Line marks the boundary where Israeli forces retreated to after signing the first stage of the peace deal. The Telegraph was told that Mr. Netanyahu had discussed the expansion of military control with senior U.S. officials in order to coordinate the move. Tensions were already high in Israel after it emerged that the remains of a hostage returned by the terror group were found to belong to a captive whose body was recovered from Gaza 2 years ago. On Monday, Hamas handed over what it said was the 16th of 28 hostage bodies it had agreed to return under the U.S.-brokered ceasefire deal, which came into effect on October 10. However, Israeli forensic examination determined that Hamas had handed over partial remains of Ophir Tsarfati. Tsarfati was kidnapped from the Nova Music Festival in the Hamas-led attack on Israel in October 2023. He was killed in captivity, and his body was retrieved by Israeli troops in November 2023. In March 2002,